Hello. Good evening, everyone. All righty. Hi, Chris. Haven't seen you since a little while ago. All righty. Well, listen, I'd like to start out with the information we have here. Um, we'll do the website first. Be www.rev, R-E-V, Gregory Kehn, Kehn.com. That'd be Rev, R-E-V, Gregory Kehn, Kehn.com. If you'd like to go to the website, I'll have all the information on there. Phone number to reach me would be 716-595-3529, 716-595-3529. And we're going to be doing next month, June, and there'll be Zoom on the 18th at 7 o'clock in the evening. That'll be Zoom on the 18th of June. And then we're going to go to, we have something new here we're announcing now. We're going to be on a ship, and this will be in January, and everyone's invited to go if they'd like to go. If you want to have information about it, go to the website, and you'll be able to contact us. And that would be June 12th through the 19th, and that'll be leaving from Florida. January 19th. That'll be leaving from Florida, and it'll be 12th through the 19th. And we're going to be on with a lot of people that are mediums. We're going to do mediumship there and teaching and do, I think it'll be really nice to do a gallery. And we also have some wonderful astrologers on the ship also. We'll be doing some classes. So everybody will be able to enjoy a little taste of everything. Then we're going to be in Ohio. And Ohio will be there from the 27th to the 29th in September. And I'll be back in Ohio in Niles, Ohio. And that would be Ohio, 27th through the 29th of September. All righty.
Could everyone give a thumbs up that they can hear the audio? Okay.
Okay, good.
The only person who can't hear is Chris.
Can you hear us, Chris?
No, she can't. She can't hear us.
Okay. All right. I'd like to start out, if anyone has some questions they'd like to ask, if you want to go ahead and send us through the email, send it through the email to us if you have questions you want to ask, and we'll go ahead and work with them then right back to you with the answers, and we'll see what we can do. All righty. Now, I know everyone's interested in mediumship and healing, but working with mediumship, to take time to understand where we're at in our own ability and our own skill. I mean, everyone here has felt things at different times and had different experiences. How many of you would like to do something on a public level with someone else on the screen right now and see if you'd like to be able to try giving a reading? Because I'll be working with you on it and see what else you'd feel about the person. All right?
Is anyone interested?
Richard, you interested?
Okay.
All righty. You pick someone out and ask if you can go to them for a message, giving them a message. And if they're open to that, that's fine.
I'll unmute them when you ask them.
When you ask them, we'll unmute it from here. You have a particular person you like to go to?
Oh, I was trying to figure out. I shouldn't say try to figure out. Trying to get the who I'm drawn to, I should say. Maria. For some reason, I'm picking you up.
All right.
Give you a reading?
She's unmuted.
Yes, I would love one. Thank you.
I feel like you have a grandmother coming in. Has your grandmother passed?
Yes, both my grandmothers are on the other side.
I'm just trying to connect in now. Give me a second. I just lost it for some reason. Grab my paper up real quick here. Boat, boat, boat. Something about a boat. Is there a reason for a boat to be around you?
Not that I can think of right now. I'm sorry.
Give me a second. I connect in here. Pick a picture. I don't know why, but it's something about a picture that you might have looked at or moved. Was there a picture that you moved recently?
Well,
Your left side, somewhere on the left side.
it's funny. Well, I have a picture of my father and I on the left side of my top shelf that kind of fell the other day, and I kind of picked it up and just put it up there. And I mean, but that's a picture of my father and I. I mean, his mother's passed. And I have a picture of one of my grandmothers that I've misplaced like for the longest. I don't know where it is. I used to have it in a locket. And I don't know what I've
It
done with
was
it.
a jewelry. I was picking up jewelry too. I don't know. I should have said that earlier, but I was picking up jewelry.
Yeah, I
I
don't know what
couldn't
I've
figure out what that was.
I have no idea what's become of it. I had a picture of her in the little locket, silver locket. But so that's one grandmother from my
Well,
side.
let's try someone else.
Josa. You have a J.
Me?
Yeah, there's a something with the Joseph.
Well, yeah, there was a boyfriend of mine who's on the other side whose name was Jose. Right, like Joseph, but in Spanish, Jose. Mm-hmm. He
Did
passed
he die
along.
of an accident?
No,
So
Albert, my husband, died of an accident. But Jose was my boyfriend who died first. He died from being ill, being sick.
chest problems. Chest problems. Did he have chest problems, or was that your?
Yes, the first one, my boyfriend who passed first in 1980 something, a long time ago, he had pneumonia when he passed. Yes. Yes. Mm-hmm.
1980, 84, 85.
Yes, 1985, actually, I believe it was. Mm-hmm. Jose. Mm-hmm. So he's coming through? Okay. I was very close to him.
That's very good. Let's try it with someone else here. See if someone else would like to share a reading. That was
Thank
good.
you.
Picking up the name, and you're picking up the history there. That's a good energy. Would someone else like to try to share a reading? Raise your hand if you'd like to. All righty. Well, listen, when you were giving the reading, I felt very good with the energy, but you had a break in the energy. You started to feel things, and there was a break in the energy, and then it took you right back to square one, and you had to almost like start over to rebuild the energy again.
Yeah. I, whoops. I should have grounded myself a little bit more to pull that in.
Yes. And that's what I felt was not feeling completely grounded with everything. And you had to regroup and come back to the start point, and then you started building the energy again. And I think that will expand for you. And it's going to be a continuum of working better. I know in one way you were sort of caught off guard with it because you weren't expecting to have to do that. But it's a good energy. And I feel it's something that you're going to go further with what you're feeling and sensing. And it's going to be a gradual progression for you to go further. So that avenue is opening to you. And I feel practicing with that, whether you're on the phone or whether you're in person, would be a wonderful energy. I think that'll help a lot.
Okay. More
And
phone and in person, and instead of more of the, because I've been doing a lot of the instant messages back and forth.
mm-hmm,
But then once I get going, I'm like an hour, 10 minutes of
mm-hmm.
going and going and going.
Well, I think
Then as you can,
in there, when you can have the immediate response with voice, I think you're getting used to the voice vibration will be good for you because you'll feel the vibration better because it's not through the machines and doing it electronically. You're doing it right there with the voice.
oh, okay,
That might help you a lot.
okay.
All right?
Because I'm getting to the point now where like asking the questions, and then I'm starting to draw things up where I draw things down and I start
Uh-huh.
to communicate that way.
Good.
And on one instance, I could draw kind of like faces
Mm-hmm.
per se. Of course, my drawing sucks, but I can get to the point where I can almost get identical on drawings. And there
Good.
was one class that we were doing, and I did my drawings, and it was related to a possibly a missing girl that was in the class, her niece or cousin.
Yeah.
But going back to the drawings, as I'm getting the drawings, and then I'm asking the questions to validate why I'm coming up with drawings. But I don't know if that's
Well, that's a unique way of doing it, and I think you're going to expand on that. And your ability to expand on that and practice with some people would be good.
okay.
Yeah. Keep at it.
All right, appreciate it. So basically, get more into the person and the phone. So, like you say, you can actually have the vibrations of your reader
Yeah.
to understand more than just a text message, because there's no actual vibration energy from the reader side to help you connect with
Yeah, I
the
think
other
it would
side
help
per
you a
se.
lot to have the direct connection with the voice. I think would help a lot. And you'd find yourself getting a lot deeper into what you're feeling.
Okay.
All right?
Because I get the tingling vibrations kind of like on my right side, then I kind of know like, okay, is this for this person? Then I'll get the vibration and like, okay, it's for him or her, and then I'll
Yeah.
start going into the
That's
reading.
good. That's good. Yeah, good luck with that. That's a nice energy. Continue with it.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else? We have any questions yet? No?
No, this is for future class.
Oh, okay. Does anyone here have any questions you'd like to ask now on a spiritual development level?
Marina, unmute her. Okay.
Hello.
Hi, Reverend. Yeah, when Richard, thank you, by the way, Richard, thank you so much. When Richard mentioned tingling, that's been happening to me lately, I've noticed, and I've been wondering what that's about. If I'm imagining, I've been feeling like tingling around this side of my head and sometimes on my legs. But yeah, I've been feeling tingly on and off, like out of the blue, and I've been wondering about that.
Well, that's at times, if it's not a physical condition, it's something where spirits letting you know they're with you, and they would change the electrical energy around you that you'd feel the tingling feeling and recognize that they're there, and they're trying to reach through to say, hey, I'm with you. And as you take time, if you have time then when you're feeling that, to step into a meditative level where you're letting yourself relax more, you're going to pick up on spirit and then probably recognize who it is and what there would be a message, if there's a message there, that you'd understand more of what you're feeling and why. And always put out the intent and thought, asking them to bring it to you in a way that you may understand.
Okay.
All right?
Okay. Thank you, Reverend.
You're welcome. Any other question from anyone else here? Yes.
Okay.
All righty.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm really new to letting myself feel things. How
Yeah.
do you said like Richard needed to ground himself a little more. Like how do you do that? My anxiety skyrockets and then like I just freeze.
No, it doesn't skyrocket at all, dear.
Just a little bit, right?
I feel an energy with you that you just take off. And I feel an energy there that sometimes it's hard for you to even get back to the point of reasonable calmness, because when you get wound, you're gone. And I see you regrouping on that. And I felt emotionally, you're beginning to find yourself stepping back from people and realizing that you're actually taking on their energies at times and feeling things that's actually what they're feeling. And you sometimes at moments weren't sure whether it was yours or theirs.
Yeah, I'm quite empathic.
Yeah. Well, I felt that energy there, and it's very powerful for you because it really has a huge effect on you. And I'm seeing you beginning to step back enough now and realize that I can create a little bit of a separateness and know what's my energy, what's their energy. And I think that'll help a lot. And I felt the idea of you becoming more aware of the calmness, because your mind goes so quickly that you analytically analyze things so fast that you take it away from the intuitive, and the intuitive can't keep up then because you're doing it so much analytical.
Okay.
And as you get into more of a meditativeness and a calmness, you're putting out that intent that I want to be guided by spirit. I'm asking them to guide me in a way that I may understand, and just literally stepping into more of a calmer energy. You know, I've had people term it in different ways: contemplation, meditation, a lot of different things. But I feel an energy with you. Realize that at times you really don't think your mind would ever slow down. And you get wound up and you feel like, where's the brake pedal? You know, where do I put the brake on and slow it down? But I want to put it this way. I've never had my mind sit still. I've had a part of me focus on things, but there's always a part of me like the bad little kid that wants to go explore everything and check everything out. And no matter what, you get diverted. And I find that it isn't the idea of trying to capture the child and put them in a quiet space, because that's not going to work. All it does is divert the quiet part of you into the chaos. And for you to be able to be quiet and peaceful in one part of you, and the other part of you wanders off, that's fine. Let it wander off. And not try to focus on it in a sense of really controlling it, because that then becomes the focus. And if we continue focusing on the calmness and the peacefulness, that's where the focus needs to be. And then that other part of us finally looks back and says, how could they be so calm and so still and so focused? And what are they so interested in? And they'll start to draw back to that calmness and become a part of the calmness. And
Okay.
I see you beginning to learn to do that and bring that balance back in. Plus, I feel with you with people, you pick up on people so readily and easily that I'm not sure you even realize you're doing it.
Yeah, no.
You know, it's like I just see you feeling it, and you're feeling it. And there was sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes not a recognition of what am I feeling that's theirs and what am I feeling that's mine. And once you start recognizing that more, which I feel will happen shortly, you're going to start really tapping in better, and it's going to bring a lot more peace to your life. And I felt another energy with you too. You had an experience where you thought you were seeing orbs.
Um, I have seen things, but I tend to ignore them because they scare the bejesus out of me.
Well, let's put it this way. I see spirit working with you, and I see them appearing to you in ways that is not a full body appearance of just saying, hey, here I am. But I mean, in shadows and movements near you. And I want to say, let's start turning it around and saying, I welcome your presence. Thank you for coming. Is there a message? Please share with me in a way that I may recognize and understand.
Okay.
And that way you're setting it up as a communicative level, and you're not just having it happen where then it freaks you out a bit. And especially with you, would you understand in the evening, you've had it happen in your bedroom where you would see what you thought was a movement of a shadow or a movement of something?
Mhm.
Because I'm seeing you sometimes like I want to pull the blankets up and not look. And I want to say, let's relax, because I really feel you have some beautiful entities around you that are very willing to reach out and help and guide and uplift. And I feel that they don't want to do something that you would feel disrupted by.
Okay. That makes sense.
So know that you're protected and know that they're with you, and they are with you all the time. And remember having it happen where you thought you heard someone call you and you looked around and it sort of startled you for a moment that it's like, wait a minute, but there's nobody right here?
That happens often. Yeah.
I feel that spirit saying to you, please be aware we're with you, and we want you to know we're with you. Because you've actually turned around and looked around and there's nobody there, but that spirit doing that. And if you can handle the voice that they're doing that in your mind and they're letting you know that, it's something that I want to say, let's turn it around now as a response to them. Instead of just really freaked out by it, let's respond to them by saying, thank you for coming. Is there a message?
Okay.
And you can mentally put it out, you can verbally put it out, whatever way you want to, that you feel comfortable doing. But I think you're then going to have more response where they're going to reach out, because on one level you believe it completely and you feel comfortable with it. On another level, there's a fear there of allowing it to occur more.
Mm-hmm. All
And
right.
I just see it opening up more where it's going to become an easier energy for you and become more peaceful.
All right. Thank you.
All right? God bless you. Another question?
Hang on. Where'd you go? Okay, go ahead.
All righty. What's the question?
On Catherine, I think it was Catherine, the person you were just talking to, crystals came to my mind. Are crystals good to have, or stones per se for grounding purposes?
I think crystals and that are wonderful. They're carrying energy, and we can certainly feel better with the energy. You know, like I've had people say to me, different quartz crystals and different colors, different kinds, and there's certainly meaning. There's a lot of books out there that say what crystal is for what energy, and I think that you'd enjoy having that around you. You know, I like amethyst quartz, and the amethyst to me is a very relaxing, very peaceful energy. And it's something that I find that I have pieces around the home and in the reading room that would be amethyst. And you would be able to enjoy the energy and healing. I had a quartz one time that I tested some things, little theory friends of mine had about the good energy, bad energy, or people that would be real in tune and relaxed with things and who would not be. And I took this huge crystal and I put it underneath the chair of the chair of the people that I'd be reading for. And when people came in that were relaxed with the idea of really being open and really being in tune, they just went into such a relaxed state of energy, and it was wonderful. And there were other people that would be really testing everything or afraid of everything. Their reaction was getting very fidgety to the energy. And I've had that happen, and we sort of tested that a few days there and just see what people would feel. I was doing a circle of people that were friends of mine, and I put it underneath the one chair, and we deliberately had one person sit in that chair that they would be normally wound up anyhow. And it wound them up even more because the energy was just amazing. And then we had people that would be more spiritually in tune and open to it and mediumship. And they were so relaxed with that, and it enhanced their ability with what they were doing. So crystals really do make a difference. And depending on what kind of energy they are there, there's a great deal of books out there that talk about crystals and what the energies manifest and how they help us. So I'd check into it that way. I think it'd be something wonderful as an addition, you know, to you learning things.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else have any questions? All righty. I'd like to go with something I'm feeling. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yesterday. Okay.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, how you doing?
Good. Thank you.
Would you have had just recently an experience where you were either outside or looking outside and felt something really strange in the energy?
I don't know, it happens to me periodically. I can't recall any single event.
Well, I get the feeling here of you being in touch with spirit, and I want to say earth energy spirit, and I feel like you're going to be having some things happen where you're going to be outside, and I get the feeling of you not being alone, and it's not the physical people in the earth plane, but it's on a spirit level. And I feel you're going to experience someone that you may even look into the woods and think someone was standing there, and there's no one physically there, but yet spirit's going to be doing that to gain your attention.
Yeah, actually, I get that quite often. Like on the side, I feel like I see something, and then I look and there's nothing there.
Well, they're showing me they're going to be bringing it through in a way that you're going to recognize more and deeper. And it's going to be there long enough that you can actually look at it and realize that, wait a minute, I'm looking right at them and they're still there. So I feel like that's going to be coming up more for you.
Okay. And the reason for that is,
I feel that you're stepping into a new realm of understanding, a new realm of experience, and you're going to have more events occur that are beyond what you normally would have had happen. And it's really a part of your mediumship that's opening up and growing more.
okay. All right. Thank you.
But it's a very good energy for you. I think you'll be able to really enjoy that.
Okay. So just go with the flow and,
Go with the flow and let it happen.
okay.
And not feel like you have to, let's say, debate the idea of the reality of it. I see you recognizing the reality of it, that they're there.
And I don't necessarily need to do anything, just accept what I'm seeing.
Yeah, just put out the thought that you're welcoming their presence, you're thanking them for coming, and if there's a message, please share it with you in a way that you may understand.
Okay.
All right?
Thank you.
You know, we're all learning to follow our feelings, and the world changes in energy now that we're experiencing. You know, if you look at the news and you look at all the things going on with weather, I've been watching weather on the Weather Channel, and it's really pretty amazing how crazy the weather's been. And I feel that people are picking up on the energy, and whether we're creating the energy and the weather's responding to it, or the weather's responding and we're responding to it, either way, there's a lot of crazy energy going on. And that we're needing to be very aware of the outer effects that are affecting us that we're sometimes unaware of. And it's forcing us a bit to really be in tune to what are we sensing and what areas of our lives are we allowing ourselves to be in tune, and other areas where we sort of push it away and really don't allow ourselves to be in tune. You know, working as a medium, I find myself realizing that there's been a lot of turmoil, and there's a great deal of people having a lot of turmoil. And we need to recognize the energy around that. You know, if you look at astrology and people talk about astrology and what effects it has on us, we're having a lot of planetary stuff happen that can be very disruptive. And we're needing to recognize that every one of us has a different chart, a different energy, different way of dealing with it. And we're needing to relax with the idea that we're going through it, we're moving through it. It's going to be a very positive thing for us, and to not look at it with such fear. You know, I have some people at times that they'll say, well, Mercury's going retrograde, and they get into a complete panic. And I don't look at it that way. I look at it as something that we're needing to recognize the energies there. Therefore, we need to step up our own ability to bring balance and harmony to what we're doing and not ignore it. And I'm not saying add power to it, but we're needing to recognize that it's there. And yes, it's a factor, because there's times we really don't want to recognize it as a factor, and we just blindly go straight forward and we end up with a mess. And I feel that we're being provided all this information spiritually in a sense of guidance that we're needing to begin to follow and not debate the way we do in the past. It's really a need to be able to readjust that. How many of here are interested in laying on of hands healing? Please raise your hands. All right. I'd like to come to her.
Her?
Yeah.
Okay. That's Linda.
Hi, Linda.
Hi,
Hi, how are you?
doing well. Thank you for having me.
Yes, you're welcome. You have a question?
I do. So I've been experiencing a lot of stuff lately. I have a lot of vivid dreams, and specifically lately, it's been a lot of what I think is maybe a little bit of clairaudience.
Yeah.
I'm hearing my name being called out, and it's happening more often, and definitely a lot louder, and it wakes me up. And I kind of just trying to figure out what's going on with me.
Well, let's say it this way. First, I feel they're practicing with you, and they're practicing at that practicing to get your attention, to figure out exactly what energy they need to present to you that you'll recognize or that you'd respond
Okay.
to. And you're learning to allow it to happen. And you can also set up a perimeter and say, I need my rest, I need to sleep, and please share this with me when I wake up in the morning.
Okay. Okay.
Because sometimes it disrupts you during the night.
Well, I'm usually woken up more towards the morning with it. I kind of I'm interested in making my connection stronger. And I think I just don't know how to develop it more to where I can do something with it and help.
Well, first off, I want to say we need to really understand to slow the mind down because your mind goes 1,000 miles an hour.
Yes.
And as you slow the mind down, you're getting into really a relaxed state. And it's something where spirit then can step in and work with you more easily and more smoothly. Because at times when you're wound up, they get bits and pieces through, and then you're feeling a little discombobulated because you don't have the full flow of answer.
Right.
And I feel allowing yourself to get into that relaxed state is really the mainstay. And as you do that, everything else is going to line up and become more peaceful for you.
Okay.
And
Do
you also
you
had an
believe
experience.
that I'm experiencing mediumship at this time?
I feel you are, but I feel it's something that is not something you're in control of. It's just happening in spurts.
Right.
And as you relax more in a meditative way, do you do either meditation or yoga now?
I'm sorry?
Do you do meditation or yoga now?
I haven't gotten much into yoga. I do meditation. Unfortunately, I haven't been as consistent with it as I've wanted to. But yes, I'm trying to get more into it.
Well, the feeling I have is I feel the need to really focus a little more on having your quiet time and your calmness and allow spirit to come in because they're around you, they're wanting to reach you, but when you're wound up, they're not able to get through.
Got it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, dear. God bless you.
Bless you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Anyone else have some question they'd like to ask?
Richard?
Richard?
Me again.
Yes.
I've talked to other mediums and so forth, and like helping them when they're doing readings, and I want to get going on my own per se with Facebook, and that type of thing. Would that be good to get going, or?
Well, I think practicing with some people where you're going to feel more confident in what you're doing and you're going to have responses where they're responding to you quicker and easier in the answers, and certainly they're answering correctly. I think that's going to be a good energy for you. And I could see you working with that at a little bit later time, but it's something that I feel with you, the voice and directness is what I really feel you need the vibration of. So you're hitting deeper. And as you get deeper with that, then it's going to be easier to do everything else.
Okay.
It's just going to make it simpler for you to pick right up on things. That's like when I pick up on things, I'm finding myself not thinking about it. It just comes to me. And it's not a basis of thinking it over. It's the thought of just open to it and let it happen. Like the last young lady I just read for there a little bit. The energy I was feeling there was something that I had absolutely no preconceived notion of thought. It was just, it came to mind and I share it. And I feel at times you're still thinking some things where it's not working as easily for you to be something you feel like is a flow. When we question something, we're standing in between spirit and the client, and we're questioning it, which is another relay, which at times we then don't get things right. And if we can step aside enough where we're not literally being a relay, it's like someone tells me something and I repeat it. Well, when I repeat it, am I repeating it in the manner that was given to me? Or am I somehow shifting the energy or changing the energy a little bit? And we need to be aware of doing that.
So like when I was reading for Maria, when I I don't know what I should just come out and just say it and just
Right,
let them come back and tell me, and
right.
then see what else I can put together type on for the other side to this side.
Yes, exactly. That way you're not the intermediary, you're just allowing the flow to move through you.
Okay.
And that brings the clarity, because then our interpretation of what's given to us, we interpret it and we give an interpretation to the client. And we're not getting the interpretations right when we're doing it as an interpretation. We're needing to allow it to be something we just give through us, and we're the conduit, and we just let it pour through us.
Okay. So
And
just don't think.
as we set that intent, we're not thinking about it. It's just there and it flows.
Okay. So that's what I was doing is it's thinking about what they're giving me to say instead of
Right.
just, hey, it's a car, it's a Ford, it's
Yeah.
don't ask like, okay, it's a car. Well, what do you think? Well, dragging it on type of thing. Just say it and go
Yeah.
on with the next, what comes
Well,
through. And
I've had it happen many times. People say to me, "How in the world did you come up with that?" And I would just say, "It's what Spirit gave me." And I don't question it, I just give it. And it's something that I try to do it in a way where whatever they give me, I give it exactly in the form they're giving me. And that way, it's the most pure message direct, because other people's interpretations may recognize that if you said it one way, other than what they said, if their difference in it was one word, it throws the interpretation off to the person receiving it.
okay.
So if you can give it the way you heard it or felt it, and it's just given, then it's going to be there, and it's going to be interpretation they would understand. Like I've had people come through, and one lady said to me one time, I said, I usually don't say these things this way, but this gentleman came through and he was using pretty profound language. And I came through with the language that he was using. And exact saying of what he would normally say on the earth plane came out. And she just sat there and looked at me and started into tears. And she said, "Now I know it's him." So we have to recognize that if we change it, we're changing the outcome of what that person's going to hear or see or understand. We're changing it. And that's where, when he came through with this rather powerful statement, it was a statement he used all the time on the earth plane, but it was rather blunt. And normally I wouldn't be speaking like that. And the only way she would have really recognized it is it needed to be spoken in the way that he presented it, word for word. And I did, and she recognized it completely. And she said, if you wouldn't have said it that way, she says, I wouldn't have believed it was my father. So when we're doing the relaying of things, it becomes difficult for people to understand. And then we feel like we're not hitting it on the head, because in reality, our perception gave this other person the other perception that may not be what was meant to be.
Okay.
So keeping that purity will help you. That'll work really well.
Okay.
Good.
Well,
God bless you.
appreciate it.
You're welcome. Any other questions you have? Anyone? Yes.
Hang on.
Okay.
Hi.
Hi, Reverend. Reverend, I took a long drive today to Pennsylvania, and I'm not like a very experienced driver. And before I had left, at one point, I had spoken to my ex-husband, who's on the other side, and said, "Oh, please help me out with my driving because I know you are a good driver." But then I didn't think about it anymore. Now, throughout my driving, at some points, I was very melancholic, and I kept thinking of him, and I was getting teary. And I'm wondering, thinking back now, was he maybe around me? Because I was getting like remembering a lot of things from our past and.
I feel not only he was around you, but I feel he was riding in the car with you. And I feel that you'd already put the intent out asking him to help and guide and protect. And it's something he was very willing to do. And his closeness and vibration brought you to the emotional level you were in. And that's why you were feeling all the emotions.
Okay, all right. I wasn't sure if it was my imagination or my own stuff. If so, it was him. Okay, all right. That's comforting.
As we're talking about it, I'm watching your aura, and I see your aura expanding. As you're talking about him, the aura's gone into a beautiful yellow expansion, and it's been around you and expanded out quite a good distance at times. And I feel healing energy with that, and that he's working with you. He has progressed on the spirit side of life a great deal, and he understands things that on the earth plane he might have laughed at. But on the spirit side now, he has a great understanding of it, and he's reached out to you because he knows you've always been sensitive, and you asking him for the guidance and the help, he's very willing to reach out to be supportive of you.
Okay, you said my aura got more yellow, and you mean as a result of him or as a
Well,
result?
we were talking about him,
Right.
and becoming more relaxed in that energy, the aura kept expanding around you.
Meaning he was around, you mean? Is
Yeah.
that,
And your energy is expanding too, because the more spiritually minded you become and the more relaxed in it you become, the more your aura would expand some.
all right. Thank you, Reverend.
You're welcome. Anyone else for questions? I'd like to go back here again.
Okay. To Cat.
Kat? Hello, Kat.
Me? Yeah, hi.
Hi. As you were looking at the screen there, would you recognize having some experience just a short time ago that you found yourself one day wanting to be away from everybody? Like, I don't want to be around people. I just want to have the quietness and peacefulness myself.
Yes.
Because I feel this energy with you, and you have a lady on the spirit side of life that loves you very much and watches over you. And I feel her energy, and she said, you feel at times overwhelmed. Even if it's strangers, you'll feel overwhelmed with all the energy you feel. And there's moments you just want to be by yourself and be away from everybody.
Yeah.
And I see this lady with you, and she said, please practice putting a bubble around yourself and imagine the bubble being there like a plexiglass bubble around you, and that you're allowing yourself to see and feel and sense what's around you, but I'm not allowing it to pour into me. And it becomes overwhelming, and therefore you want to pull back and be away from everybody.
Okay.
You can create that bubble of protection by setting that intent. And I feel by setting that intent, you're going to have your harmony and calmness intact and peaceful. And whatever's going around you could be chaotic, but you're going to be fine.
Okay.
But learn how to set that intent. Put that thought out there. Because you have some people at times that draw you into things, and it can become very disruptive to you. And you just went through a selection of friendships recently where you pulled back from some people and felt, I don't want to be involved with them the way I one time would have been. And I feel like you've actually stepped back in a way, and there's been a little more pickiness here about who you feel close to and you feel open to, and other people you've begun just now to not be around them.
Yeah. There's a lot of negative energy that I had to get out of.
Yes, because I saw you cleaning house on quite a few things there, and it was a good energy for you. You needed to.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. After last session, I
Yeah.
was talking to my daughter about like setting her intentions,
Mm-hmm.
and I had turned out her light for bedtime already. And it came back on when she had like her aha moment, like she was actually listening to me.
Yes.
I don't know if there was someone there or if that was her manifesting like her actual light bulb moment.
Well, in other words, there, the light came on.
Yeah.
I want to say internally and externally.
Yeah.
And I feel wonderful with that. It's a great energy. How old is your daughter?
She's almost 5. One more month.
What I feel with your daughter is, I want to say, very mediumistic, but I also feel an energy with her being quite stubborn.
You think?
And I feel this energy. It's wonderful energy that I feel with her. She can be the most compassionate, caring person. And then she can be the most strong-willed person. And when she's strong-willed, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And I feel this energy with her that she's tapping into spirit. And I feel spirit's using the light as a symbol to reinforce to her, hey, you got it right.
Okay.
And I feel by you sharing what you're understanding and growing in your understanding spiritually, it's helping her understand, because she's so wide open. She's like a sponge, and she's absorbing everything you share with her.
Okay.
And as you're growing spiritually, let's in a sharing manner, you're guiding her with those experiences and allowing her to know and sense that. And it's going to help her a lot, because I see bumps in the road you've been through that I feel you're going to soften it for her, because you're giving her the understanding that you learned the hard way. And I see her being able to pick up on it. And as stubborn as she can be, she's going to do a few things the hard way. But on another level, I see her having the ability to go, wait a minute, Mom talked about that.
Well, that's good.
I think that'll help a lot. That'll be wonderful. And would you recognize she talked about seeing lights in her room? Now, I don't mean the light in the sense of light bulb, but I mean spirit lights.
Yeah, she doesn't like being alone in there anymore.
Mm-hmm.
She wants like the dog or the cat in the room with her when she
Mhm.
goes to bed, because she was saying something about some. I think she said lights was in there and they were bothering her.
Well, let me say it this way. The lights that I'm seeing are spirit lights. They're playing with her, and they think it's wonderful that she's aware of their presence. And I see them doing things to gain her attention. And it's really a wonderful feeling. And I felt an energy there that talked to her about that these are all guardian angels. They're all watching over her, and they've come to play.
Okay.
And that they'll move around the room at times or move near her to show her that they're with her.
Okay.
And it's really, we put a positive spin on it, where it's not then something that builds a fear level. There's no need for
Okay.
the fear level. That'll work well. Also, how old's the father?
29. He'll be 30 this year.
Where's he at?
He's at work. He's here.
Would you recognize with him that on one level he's very sensitive about people, and he either likes someone or doesn't like someone. He
Mhm.
trusts someone or doesn't trust someone, in sort of a gut level feeling.
Mhm.
And that in other areas he would push it away and almost want to deny it.
Yeah, he's not he's was raised very different, so he's not as spiritual as me, but like he has come to know, like, when I say certain things that I really mean, like, listen.
Well, I think he's listening better than he ever has, and I feel he's opening up a little more. But there's a part of him that would really rather not have to deal with it. And yet there's another part of him that, with some statements you've made at times, it's proven out, and he really does listen. And you also change your tone a little bit when you're saying it, when you feel it, when you really feel it, and you're not just thinking something, but I mean, you really feel it. It's like there's a different tonal change with what you're expressing. And I see him picking up on that. And at times you freak him out a little bit, because you've already had things happen that you've warned him of.
Yeah.
And I see it following through even more. And I want to say what's really going to freak him out a little bit is when your daughter makes comments about being careful. I remember being a little child, and I went out in the kitchen at 4 a.m, My father was leaving to go to work at the mill, and I jumped on his foot and his leg, and I wrapped my arms around his leg, and I said, Daddy, don't go. Daddy, don't go. And I kept saying, Daddy, don't go. Well, my mother had to peel me off his leg. And within 10 miles of leaving home, he hit the back of a semi that had no lights on.
Oh,
And it's something that, the energy was there and I knew it, but I was too young to express it in an understandable manner. And my father was the kind of person that even though he had stitches on his head from wrecking the car, he went to work that day someone else gave him a ride.
okay.
So I feel your daughter has the ability to feel things, and I feel periodically there's going to be times something will come through to her very, very strongly, and she may not be able to express all of it in an understandable manner, but just be in tune to it and relax with it, and I think you'll then pick up on what's going on.
Okay.
All right?
All right. Thanks for the advice.
You're welcome. Enjoy. Any other questions we have while we're on?
Sir.
Richard.
Me again. Catherine, when you were talking with her, I don't know if it's right or not, but I heard healing. Does she have healing? Is she a healer? Because I was feeling healing.
Yeah, she definitely has a lot of healing ability, and she hasn't fully manifested it yet. And she's beginning to open up to the idea of trusting what she feels. And as she trusts it more, it's going to be manifesting even stronger.
Yeah, I took her to not this past Sunday, but the Sunday before in Lilydale at the healing ceremony, and she
Yeah.
sat and got healed and was very interested in what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
We all kind of
I see her understanding the energy. She feels the energy, and she's very mesmerized by it, and she's so drawn to that energy.
Yeah.
When I was a child, I was here in Lilydale in the summers with my mom, and I went to the healing temple, and a lady there that was running the healing temple at the time had me sit in the chairs and work with the healing. And at 12 years old, I was certified as a healer in the healing temple. And I enjoyed that very much because I remember being 8 years old and my father asking me what I wanted to do when I grew up. And I said, I want to work in the healing temple and heal people, and I want to give readings. And he was a little taken back by that. He didn't know quite what to do with that one. He didn't even answer me. But I feel your daughter has a lot of ability, and indoctrinating her in that understanding and talking to her about dreams and what the dreams mean and analyze them. I mean, I used to do that when I was a child. We'd get up in the morning and my grandmother and mother both would ask, what did you dream last night? And analyze everything as to how it came out and what the message was. Because some dreams are dreams, but some dreams are messages and guidance also.
Okay.
And her being as young as she is, that's amazing. Just let it happen.
Yeah, she has said some dreams that there's no way she would be able to know who she was describing, but she was describing relatives.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then remember, the spirit world around her is watching over her, and they may be able to give her feelings and thoughts about things without appearing to her because the appearance would scare her, but just feeling it wasn't scaring her.
Okay. Okay.
They'll work with her in a way that they don't want to frighten her because they want her to continue to open up.
Okay.
All right?
Mm-hmm.
Good. God bless you.
Thanks.
Anything else anyone has to ask? We got a couple minutes left here. All righty. Well, listen, I look forward to next. Okay. 18 June will be the next show here. We'll do the class. And please send through anything in the email so you have questions, and please present them through the email, and we'll have them for the next class and we'll go over them. And I've enjoyed seeing you guys. Now, the cruise is going to be in January, and that'll be 12th through the 19th. If anyone has any interest in that, if you want to go to the website, you can check it out. We're going to be in Ohio, and that will be the 27th through the 29th of September. I usually make a trip down in spring and fall, and we'll be back down in September for that, the 27th through the 29th of September. And how to reach me would be www.rev, Gregory Kehn, KEHN.com. Phone number would be 716-595-3529.
Please email for a new password or message us on Facebook. Next month will be a new password.
Brand new password, folks. So message us so we can give you a password.